Hello, everyone. My name is Cheryl Berry. I'm an adjunct professor at Sacred Anatomy Academy and a practitioner of sacred anatomy energy medicine. Let me ask you, what if holding a boundary could be a positive, self-affirming approach to life? What if you could learn a 5-step practice that would expand your self-awareness, increase your peace of mind, and give you a powerful energy boundary at the same time? Discovered and developed after years of personal and professional study by Desda Zuckerman, the edge practice is a living, breathing way to access and use the subtle body in everyday life. Desda will answer questions after the meditation where she takes you to the edge of your energy structure. So please write them down, any questions you have, and enter your questions into the chat at that point, and she will answer as many as she can. And please stick around to the end for an extra bonus gift. So welcome to the Sacred Anatomy Secret, your powerful energy boundary. Now, about Desda Zuckerman. Desda is an author, healer, teacher, speaker, ordained minister, and a clairvoyant. Her work is based on a lifetime spent deciphering the swirling streams of energy she sees around all things. The sacred anatomy is your highly organized and intelligent body of light, and it includes your physical body. The sacred anatomy is your own personal connection to infinite divine consciousness, and it is waiting for you to call upon it. In 1997, Desda founded the discipline Sacred Anatomy Energy Medicine, or SAEM. It's both an intentional healing modality as well as a philosophy. And they are both based in the subtle anatomy that is located all around and includes your physical body. Desda documented her decades of studying in her encyclopedic book, Your Sacred Anatomy, an owner's guide to the human energy structure, published in 2012. This has made her an internationally recognized pioneer of subtle energy medicine. So, let us please give a warm welcome to Desda Zuckerman.
Hello, hello, hello. It's great to be here with you. Hi. Thank you for coming. It's wonderful to see you. Your beautiful smiles, your beautiful spirits. I love, love, love to look at you guys and see your beautiful faces. Hello. I see old friends and new. Hi. Thank you so much for joining me today. I think we're going to have a really good time. I've been a little under the weather. I've had the creeping crud that's been going around. So please forgive me if I cough or have to blow my nose or need an extra drink of water. So welcome and thank you for joining me for the Sacred Anatomy Secret. Today I'll be sharing something with you that might just change your world and could even save your life. This hour will be an exploration into one of the most profound and yet unknown aspects of our shared human experience. That you and I are far more than what is commonly thought. We're more than flesh and bones. We're more than hopes and dreams. You can learn to use a specific part of yourself that's been hidden up until now. that can bring your sacred and subtle anatomy into a conscious relationship and expand your capacity for a fuller life. This information has really been hidden through the ages. It's been known by the saints and the sages and the healers and the mystics who lived on mountaintops. But it's really time for us all to have it now. It's time for us all to step into our power. I've been sharing this spiritual technology and teaching students from all walks of life to go to the edge of their subtle structure for years and years and years. And I've seen real miracles occur. I've seen families talk again who were shattered. I've seen workplaces become hospitable. I've seen people reminiscing about how they used to be so burnt out all the time from doing body work or just living, but they aren't anymore. So yes, it takes some effort, and it is definitely a practice. But today, I'm going to introduce you to an incredible secret that can become completely available to you. And that's why I designed the course, the Essential Edge Practice. It's a deep dive into really understanding how to do this, how to go to the edge. And the secret that I'm going to share with you can teach you to access your energy structure, your own subtle structure, your own energy body. And it's a secret that, in fact, will actually lead you to your most competent and most awakened self. So there's been an awful lot of study of human potential. I remember my dad back in the 60s, he got his doctorate in human behavioral science. It was a new thing, and he was sitting around in encounter groups doing all these really sort of archaic things that nobody does anymore. But human potential has been on the front burner for, about 50 years. People have really been looking at what does it mean. So when we look around ourselves today, you can see in every corner of the world bold new discoveries and innovative territories of mind, body, and spirit. I mean, you don't have to go much further than your cell phone to know how incredibly changed things have become. We're in an era of great opportunity and expansion when secrets are being revealed. The secrets of the universe are being opened, doors are being opened. We're learning about secrets in the earth. We're learning about hidden cities and with things like LIDAR, finding the ancient ruins of things. And as these secrets are being revealed, it is time for the subtle anatomy secret to be revealed. So today, more and more of our really collective creative dreams are being nurtured by the soup we're swimming in. What up until now has been a promise of human potential, like someday, are actually becoming usable human talents and skills. Brains are changing. The tech is changing us. And the consciousness is lifting, rising, expanding, and transforming us. And it takes a stand. If you're awake and aware of this world today, you cannot ignore the darkness that lingers. It's there. In fact, I'll bet you've already realized you must live with the darkness while you persistently keep your own bright light shining. And sometimes it feels like, this is the big challenge. So right now, we humans as a species are poised to make a transformational leap. We're really ready. We're on the diving board. We're getting ready. We're in our Speedos. We're in our suits, and we're ready to go into the deep water. And it's a leap in consciousness and a vital shift away from misogyny, from race hatred, lack of tolerance, and the evil of violence. The possibility of this is happening, is real, and it's powerful. And sometimes I feel like I'm standing on a mountain in a windstorm, screaming at the top of my lungs, we can be peaceful. But it's true. It's so true. And here we are together today, aligning with that awareness, knowing somewhere inside us that that's true. The possibility is real and it's very powerful. So millions across the earth are in agreement that a new way is dawning. Change is just a conscious collective shift away. We're so close. And of course, you know, when we're so close, all the resistance comes up, doesn't it? All the, no, you can't do that, comes up. And that's the healing moment. That's the moment when we have to pull up our socks and say, I'm going to take my stand. It is within our collective grasp. It is. Everything is energy. All around us is energy, way out into the multiverses. It's all energy. From the farthest reaches of the cosmos to the world right around you, to my mug. Everything is energy. Tuning into the resonance of other humans is similar to tuning into a radio transmission. The shared human frequency allows you to feel how you affect your immediate relationship, and in a broader way, all humanity and your connection to it. So everything you do is impacting others. And I don't mean that in a small way, I mean that in a big way. We are all affecting each other. As more and more people learn how to be in connection with this larger human collective field, it's an energy field, the primordial consciousness of all creation notices. It opens its eyes, it lifts its head, and sees you as a contributing member of the collective consciousness. And so begins a real and embodied relationship with the whole of life itself. And you stop acting as an individual with your own selfish interests needing to be handled right now, to a being who's living at a consciousness level where you're interconnected with other people and feeling the needs of the whole. It's a different approach to living. And you've probably already been working to establish a bond to your more expanded self. But the secret I'm going to share with you will spark a conscious waking state that may have been long sleeping. Today, simply walking through a mindful 5-step practice of going to the edge, which is what we're going to do, will wake up that sleeping giant within you. Just like neurotransmitters, you can develop pathways of consciousness. So neurotransmitters develop pathways of chemical and energetic movement in the brain and move down into the body to affect life. And you can develop these pathways of consciousness out into your subtle structure that will provoke an increasing sensate awareness. In other words, you can become sensorily aware of your subtle self. It isn't a mental concept. It's actually a sensate. I call it extra sensate, so extrasensory. As a spark ignites a fire in you, your larger consciousness comes to life. And as you come into consciousness, the collective field humans all shares begins to respond, and as our cooperative awareness is impacted, it begins to shift for the better. Others can sense your presence within this field. And whether consciously or unconsciously, they can sense a relationship is beginning to happen. Something magical is happening. So a recognition of your interconnectedness, your interconnection with your brothers and your sisters first occurs at this very subtle level. There's no question we affect each other. We can sense this in our bodies. We can all feel that. We matter to each other. It's one of the ways that the advertising industry sells us, is that we can't help but be moved by pictures and music and image and sound that affect us, that pull on our heartstrings, that make us want to then purchase some product or give to some charity. And that's a way of using this collective field. We matter to each other and influence the health and well-being of this species every moment of every day with our intrinsic perceptions. So after experiencing the edge practice, some people report a deep resonance in their bones as the sacred anatomy concepts land in them in real time and anchor into the fabric of the body. As soon as something becomes an embodied experience like this, you can actually grasp it more deeply. Folks even say the practice feels like a distant memory is awakening, feeling that it is strangely recognizable as natural and normal. I have so many people who say to me, I do this. I do this when I meditate. I do this when I garden. I do this when I play music. I do this when I wash the dishes and space out. I do this. But being able to access it and have a locational reality for it that is all encompassing and able to put you into a sensate state, that's a little different. People can't always dial up that feeling of being on the meditation cushion. But people say this to me, and it's as if they're hearkening back to another form of beingness, to another reality even, a remembering that arises in the here and the now, totally current with who and what you are. While you notice how this expanded awareness shifts you, lightens you up, and lifts your spirits, raises your vibration, you will begin to develop a sense of your larger selfhood. And this is the moment of real transformation. That's it. That's it right there. Moving closer to connecting with your most awakened self. Wow. From here, you can sense into pure human potential, our future selves. Learning is always a leap. It's a big leap sometimes. But meeting your sacred anatomy and learning how vital a part of yourself it is can be a plunge into the vast pool of human knowledge that will begin to demystify the realm of spirit and awaken your authentic human condition. Because in truth, spirit is us, and we are really unaware of it. So waking up to it gives us that opportunity. It gives us this amazing expansiveness. This is the sacred anatomy's secret that's been hidden in the possibility of what might be yours, a more awakened version of you. Tomorrow, waking up in you today. And there's more. Becoming awakened to this revelatory opportunity is an instructive immersion into your own take of mindful presence, where ancient esoteric practices already reside and thrive within you, where you remember the voices of the ancestors, where you find your ancient tribe. That part of you is awake and raring to go. And that part of you is the part that's been waiting for this little piece of information to open you. So pulling back the mists of time, will reveal your expanded humanity awaiting for you forever, made fresh and new, washed clean for you now. I know what I'm talking about because I had a revelatory experience when I was age 14. I flew out of a car and I landed on my head. When I regained consciousness and opened my eyes again, everything had totally changed. Something in me opened up and showed me my full human perceptual potential. When I hit the ground and was knocked unconscious, I was given a gift. It took me years to get to that. But my vision changed from being sort of a normal young clairvoyant, seeing pretty lights and around living things, to seeing how I do now, which is this really like brilliant light, intense energy structures with functional interactive use. And I see consistently around all people the same type of structure. So it is even with the same kinds of anatomy. So that's totally unique because of the colors. And so I really was scared of that for a long time. I have to tell you, I had my head under the covers for a while. It took me about 4 years to learn to see again because there was so much energy between me and people and their faces. I had to kind of learn to part the veil so I could see people again. And nobody knew what was going on with me. There was nothing wrong with me physically. Nothing wrong with my eyes. Nothing wrong with my brain as far as I knew. And there was this light and energy everywhere. So that was an enormous change. But I used the knowledge of it. I started to take notes on it really early. I started to draw pictures when I was just 14. I started drawing what I was seeing and making these wild pictures. And I kept looking at it. And then I would go to the library and go into every conceivable section trying to find these pictures. Nobody had them. So what this ultimately taught me is that people can not only learn to sense their subtle selves, but that can also be learned to be used for good. So I know now that what happened to me was an enormous gift, and it opened a huge door. And so I've led a whole lot of people through that door. And we're all at a party right now. It's going pretty well. So since those early days, I've drawn pictures of what I see and sense. What I share with you today are taken directly from my colored pencil drawings done over 50 years of observation, study, experimentation, analysis. Does this work under this pressure or under this light, or does this work at night? Does this work during the day? Can I see this when people are angry? Can I see this when they're sad? And on and on and on. And they might be different than what you've seen or that you see in books about inner sight, because they're not delicate, they're not subtle little pastel shapes, and they're really anatomical. That's one of the most interesting things. So it's important to see that there's no requirement to believe in anything to understand the information I'm sharing. In fact, I suggest you don't. Don't do that. Don't believe it. Try it, see it, check it out, feel into it. Have your own experience, for crying out loud. This is not a religion, nor is it a dogma. My work is not faith-based. In my community, we have people of every single religion, every single color, every single race, creed, cultural background, all over the place. And the truth of the matter is that everybody connects in this sacred and subtle place. And it is not based in any of those things that we use to judge people. Awesome, right? I had a guy who took a couple of my classes and went on to write a book called The End of Racism. And he used a lot of my ideas to say, we're all the same. We're all the same. We're all souls. We're all spirits. We're all light. I loved it. His name's Richard Sheely. If you want to look him up, he's awesome. He's cool. He lives in Chicago. He flew out to California from Chicago just to take the classes. It was great. It was when I was teaching in hotels. Now I'm teaching in my office. So through the years, I applied the scientific method, collecting anecdotal information as I learned, analyzed, studied, and experienced my new sight. And you don't have to believe what I share about your subtle and sacred self for it to still be valid. I mean, it's not important. All you really need to do is to experiment with it and see if it's possible for you to use, if it opens a door for you, and if you can make friends with the information and begin to understand this larger idea of who and what you are. Because we're all bigger than we think we are. In the process of sharing, I may introduce to you paradigms that are new to you. I heartily encourage you to take risks, to do things you might think of as crazy or weird, and set your critical self aside. Suspend judgment, but please don't swallow any of it as some kind of gospel. What I'm sharing fundamentally is new thinking. This work represents a profound breakthrough, and these ideas are different. They're exciting. Right now, let's make some space. So, in your mind, imagine a golden box. Take it out of your mind and set it over here. Just set it to your right. Build that golden box out of light. And it's lovely. It can be as fancy as you want or as simple. But now I'm going to ask you to put into that golden box any of your old ideas of what is possible, your judgments about what you are and what you can do, especially judgments like I'm psychic or I'm an empath. Take those out and put them in the golden box. Because those things actually make you guys smaller, and we want to get big. So you want to take any fear you have of the new or the different, or, oh, this is too weird, or my favorite, woo-woo. I really love that. One time, a guy wanted me to come and speak to this big gathering of people about spirit and light within. And he said, but don't talk about anything woo-woo. And I said, I don't think I'm your girl. People have such ideas and judgments about what these things are. So take them out, put them over here, put them in the golden box. I mean, you can always open it up and take them out later. But it will make space for new ideas and experiences. Now close the lid, boom, and set it outside of the door to your house. Just like put it all the way out there. And this is going to prepare you to explore a new paradigm of how you see yourself and what you can learn. Everybody have some water. We can't drink enough, So my teaching style is a bit of an adventure. I've been compared to, at one time I was compared to a donkey as a teacher. Another time I've been compared to a runaway train. And sometimes I'm compared to a roller coaster. So you can just pick whichever one makes you happy. But it is an exploration into the lands of your sometimes elusive and most awakened and, darn it, your most intelligent self. Feeling your own reactions will help you expand into understanding. So let's open the field right now and allow ourselves to be together and call in all the great unseen beings, angels, teachers, guides, guardians, your ancestors, whoever you like. Call them all in. Ah, there you go. And now we're really feeling each other. I love it. And as we do that, I want to introduce to you the sacred anatomy. So just looking at these pictures or hearing about sacred anatomy concepts actually has the potential to change your life. This here, this is the 8 layers of the human energy structure. It's the most like some of the graphics you may have seen in like yoga books. And I'm going to just go through the different layers and what they're called. So the bio layer is your physical body. The emotional layer is sort of pinkish. It's right around the physical body. The primal layer is greenish, and it's a little bit outside. And just out of curiosity, you might say, hey, are they all the same color for everybody? They actually are. And then there's the yellow mental layer, and then the turquoise cognitive layer, the purple and lavender spiritual layer, the orange etheric layer, and then finally the soul layer at the outside. And then the edge that I talk about, well, that's way out beyond the soul layer. It's right there where you see those little kind of like fuzzy hairs and that gold light around the edge. That's the edge of the energy structure. And this is actually our anatomy, our sacred anatomy. And this is a system called the layers of the human energy structure. It's a little bit equivalent to, well, I guess really the organs of the physical body. So like the liver, the pancreas, stomach, etc. So every part of the structure has a job. What I see and why it was so hard for me initially to kind of figure out what I was looking at is this is one of 7 systems. So I see 7 systems that are as complex as this all together at the same time. So it's really dense. There's a lot of info there, a lot going on. And actually to do what I did, which was to map it and write my book, I had to learn how to dissect energy. So I had to learn how to intellectually, with my sight, my inner clairvoyant sight, how to pull the energy apart. And I had to learn how to talk to it, how to help it help me so that I could learn from it. And it was pretty incredible. I've taught a few people how to do that. I'd like to teach some more. Okay, so this is what the expressing subtle anatomy looks like. This is the resonating chambers. So each of these streams of light, the colored lights, is a resonating chamber, and they generate a specific frequency. These frequencies are the glue that holds the subtle structure together. So we are made of interactive subtle light that's held together by subtle sound, by the sounds, the music of the spheres. How many of you have had that experience of hearing the music of the spheres, hearing this unearthly music? Probably more people than would care to admit. But it's there, it's happening. And sounds definitely happen, not just light and color, but sounds. And I know they say to see color, there's got to be all these, physical, mechanical things going on, mechanical physics things going on. But man, I'll tell you, these colors that I see are so vibrant. Have you ever seen the movie, Robin Williams was in it. What dreams become. Thank you. What dreams become. Those colors that are in that movie are like the ones I see. So I think it's very cool that they somehow figured that out. I don't know what they did, but so these ideas that I'm sharing with you about the subtle anatomy, these are meant to be lifesavers. to support you to live more effectively, to be happier, to be healthier, to be safe and effective in the world, to no longer hide your sensitivity, but still interact with the compassion of your heart in a new and revolutionary way. So this is possible because the primary practice of self-aware consciousness, care, the edge practice, doesn't require anything special of you to be real and to be helpful. You don't have to be psychic to be able to do it. You definitely don't have to be an empath. You definitely don't have to be woo-woo or crazy. Anybody can learn how to do this. What it does require is a willingness to be lighthearted. Number one requirement. You've got to get over yourself. That's a big one. Remembering your joy, the tune you hummed to yourself while playing as a little kid, the way it felt to run as fast as you could and never be afraid of falling. Remember that feeling? Like running as fast as you could and you weren't even a little bit afraid. Try reaching back to a time when laughter came really easily to you and when fun was an important part of the day, when playing was what you did, that was your work. This human quality to get the joke, to have a sense of humor, I got to tell you right now, this is our salvation. This is our way through this difficult time that we're in. And it's hard right now. But if we can remember our sense of humor and we can use it to share with our friends and our families, our thoughts and our dreams and our hopes in a way that makes people laugh and smile, we can get a lot further, right? It's really our salvation. We can rise up out of the morass we find ourselves in if the Spirit leads. Your spirit, your soul, not anybody else's. Not how these parts of you have been defined by others, by institutions, by dogmas, by catechisms. Instead, let's look at another approach to what they actually are. Energy. Energy, energy, energy. Constantly moving and spiraling, subtle energy. The energy that's everywhere, in and around everything, from planets to the atoms that make up your body. So, this spiritual energy can be defined by the fundamental functions that make up the human energy structure. Wisdom, purpose, and function drive the manifestations of our body, mind, heart, and spirit. We feel and know love and light and are shaped by our co-creative spiritual authority. Whoa! We're shaped by our co-creative spiritual authority. Boom, mic drop. I think that is a particularly good sentence. Because we are. And yes, we're making our own lives. We're forming the culture, the good and the bad. We're in charge. You know what? It's not a government or some agency or some bureaucracy or some political party. It's us. We are doing it. And we're doing it as well as we can. But we could do it better, I think. You and me. And in the bracing revelation of this fact, we can find our way together and burst into the collective song we have up until now only sung quietly to ourselves. So I want to tell you the origin of the edge. Like, where did this idea to go to the edge of the energy structure come from? How did this happen? So in 1985, I was bedridden. I had an unknown illness. The symptoms were very inflamed liver, aching everywhere, extreme exhaustion, memory loss, very scrambled brains. I just hurt everywhere. And because my liver was so inflamed, anybody would touch me, it would be painful. And I had a 6-year-old, a little sweet angel 6-year-old who wanted to be touched, and she wanted to be held, and she wanted me to play with her. This is my daughter, Shira, and there's her young mommy. Shira is now 45 and has a lovely little boy of her own. But in those days, she was one of my great teachers. And our relationship was one of humor and excitement and exploration. And the fact that I got so sick was really hard on her. So one day, I thought to myself, I'm going to go completely insane if I can't touch Shira. If I can't just touch her hair. If I can't touch her. And so I just extended my energy. And I went through the wall where she was playing in her bedroom, through my bedroom wall where I was in the smelly bed I was in for so long. And I got to where I thought she was, and I put my energy hand out and I touched her. And she stopped what she was doing and she yelled, "Mom! Mom! Did you touch me on the head?" Came running into my bedroom, skidded to a stop, put her hand on her hip and said, "Mom, I think you touched me on my head, but I don't know how you did it. What did you do?" I said, "Honey, I think I just touched you with my energy." She said, "Could you do it again?" I don't know. I have no idea. She ran into her father's office under his desk, and he was trying to work in there, and she crashed in under his desk and, Mom, can you feel me here?" I sent my energy arm over and I felt her and I touched her head again, and she said, I feel you, screamed, and she said, "I'm going to run into the backyard." She went through the kitchen and out through the garage and into the backyard and screamed, Can you feel me now?" I sent my energy arm through the walls and I touched her. And just as I touched, she said, I feel you, I feel you, I feel you. And she came running back in, and then she said, I have to go to the potty. And she went into the potty and she said, "Can you feel me in here?" And I put my hand in. So I was following her all around, and then she came in and said, "Okay, I'm done with this game," and went back in her bedroom. And my mind was blown. And so from that grew my study of, well, what the hell was I touching her with? My energy arm, that doesn't make so much sense. So what was it that I was actually feeling her with? And I began to learn about the anatomy. I began to study it. And I began to realize that the anatomy of the subtle structure around us can move and does move and interacts with others, and that it can be done consciously. And you know what? You too have this capacity. It's not just something I do all by my lonesome. Everybody can learn this. It's an ordinary discovery that leads to extraordinary work, and something I've shared with thousands of people, and I can share with you now. So, you ready? You want to go to the edge? Want to see what it's like? Here we go. So I'm going to do it with a guided visualization. And there's going to be some pictures that'll come, and they'll happen throughout the course of this very short little meditation. Excuse me. And you'll have an opportunity to experience your own version of this. Now, is it going to be The only version? Probably not, because as you study and get better at it, you'll learn to do it better. But this is a start. This is the beginning. So we're going to take a trip through the sacred anatomy. Close your eyes or leave them open. You can do either one. But it'd be a good idea to either sit or stand. The core. Be aware in this moment of a powerful downward moving river of source energy. It's coming from way above you, 20 feet above you. And it's moving all the way down, coming in through the top of your head, going all the way down your spine, and then out your coccyx, down through your legs. Even if you're sitting down, it goes down through your legs and then down underneath your feet. 10, 20, 30, 20 to 30 feet beneath your feet. And then it leaves your structure. But that's the core. And it's this incredible divine light. It anchors us in space. And now coming in from the front of you is your channel. It comes in right into the center of your structure, which is a little below your heart and a little above your belly button. That's where the channel comes through. So it comes from the front of you, comes in towards you, and then it goes right through your physical body and out the back. And it's coming from about 20 feet away too. So the whole length of the channels is like, maybe 44 feet. Sorry. And this is the divine light within as well. The core and the channel meeting each other. The core being what anchors us in space, the channel that anchors us in time, that gives us a sense of before and after, of history. And now all around you, way out, about 20 feet out, is an egg. And this egg shape is the edge of your sacred anatomy. You're a manifestation of divine source. So this is your frame, it's your base. These are the most important parts of the structure. And they're what your subtle structure is built on. So now we're going to take a walk through the layers, and we're going to start in the bio layer. So go ahead and just place your hands on your heart and feel your physical body. Feel how beautiful it is, how it's doing its very best to support you in this life. Take a deep breath. As your lungs fill with life and you exhale, feel all the stress and tension in your body just release, let go. And we become very aware of the movement of the air in and out. And your bio layer, your physical body, is also part of the subtle anatomy. It's a wonderful, strong part. And allow yourself to feel down the whole length of your torso, from neck all the way down to the base of your spine, feeling your shoulders, your waist, your hips, and then feeling that torso filling out with the air you're breathing in and out. Feeling your arms, your hands, your legs, your knees, your feet, your hands and feet, fingers and toes. Now take a deep breath and allow your awareness to expand out about 4 or 5 inches from your physical body, just all around you like like a halo around your body. This is the emotional layer. And it's pink or peachy or kind of a reddish color. It's a warm color. And it's all around you, and it's the place where emotional content can really be accessed. It's a very powerful part of your structure. As you move through that part of your structure, allow yourself to breathe in again and go out just a little bit further into the primal. Now you're in the primal layer. The primal layer is where all the sort of the DNA memories, the epigenetic knowledge, the legacy and the tribe, that's all you and your family history. But even more than that, the history of your soul's journey really, really is caught here in this primal layer. But it's that dinosaur egg, the unicorn running through the field. It's a magical and ancient place. You can hear drumming. You can feel the smoke from the ancient fires of your ancestors. And this place is very primordial. And now you take a deep breath and move into the mental layer. And the mental layer is about 8 to 10 feet out from your physical body. And the mental layer is where all the mental constructs are held. So mental constructs are there, beliefs, attitudes, dogmas, religions, all of that is really held here. But so is the possibility of acceptance. So accepting who you truly are is here as well. It's a big part of who you are. It's the seat of the divine feminine in the subtle anatomy. Taking a deep breath, allow yourself to go a little bit further into the cognitive layer. The cognitive layer is turquoise. It's beautiful. And right there in the cognitive is a place called the point of transmutation, where ideas can be implanted, thoughts can be implanted, belief systems can be implanted, and then they come into physical manifestation as they work through the layers and work through the subtle anatomy. It's like your own personal Garden of Eden, so sort of anything is possible here. Now take a deep breath, and as you do, you move into the spiritual layer. The spiritual layer has a spirit river that goes running through it, and it has docks. It has 6 different docks, and one dock is for your guides and guardians, and one is for angels, and one is for fairies, and so on. And you're able to dock at these different places and enter into different realms. We have the ability as humans to go into different realms, to experience and understand different types of life forms, different beings that influence us and that communicate with us all the time. And we remain somewhat oblivious. But this is a place where that happens, the spiritual layer. And you're very far out now. You're about 15 feet out from your physical body. So as you take a deep, deep breath, you enter into the etheric layer. And this etheric layer is pretty extraordinary because this is the place where your soul's history is written. So everything your soul has experienced, all the lives you've lived, all the places you've lived, all the people you've loved, all the times you've died and given birth and gotten married and fallen in love and had fights and been a warrior or been a baker in a bakery. All these times, all these many, many times, many jobs you've done, all those things are documented fully here in the etheric. And it's a big, thick layer. It's about 10 feet thick sometimes, and sometimes a little less, but it's a big, thick layer. So as you move through this layer, there's all these, it's like you go through the Himalayan mountains and there's all these caves, and these caves are where all the information is kept. And then you take a deep breath and let yourself go into the soul layer. There you are. Now you're all the way out. This is the big layer at the edge. It's like the egg shell of the egg. And there you are. You're in the soul layer. This is the place where all these individuated currents are swirling currents that have split off from the core. The core, the divine source within us, splits off and gives us our individuation. And here we are, swirling and swimming and acquiring knowledge, understanding, and take a deep breath, move right through the soul layer. And now you're in the surrounding universal. You're outside of your soul layer. And out here, this is what I call the float. So you're in the float. Now I want you to nestle back in to your edge. And it's soft and fuzzy, the edge. So you can nestle into your edge. Get comfortable. Now turn around in your mind's eye and look back at yourself. Look at all that you are. Because your potential is absolutely unlimited. Now turn around and sit back down at the edge, facing out. And notice that you're a lot more than you thought you were. And there's a lot more to learn about you than you ever thought there was. So right now, notice what you're feeling. Notice what you're sensing. And what you know from here. This place, the edge, has been called the seat of compassion. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. That this is where compassion truly lives. All right. Now go ahead and open your eyes and stay at the edge. Just stay right there at the edge. So you're expanded, you're out there, and I'm going to give you like a few minutes to actually just be there. And if you have questions, you can put them into the chat right now. So have we got a question in the chat, Cheryl?
No, I think everybody is enjoying this
Just so you know.
spacious stillness and just enjoying so much.
That's all right. That's all right. It's great to see you all there. Yeah. It's actually thrilling.
Oh, Hosanna shares that her cat wants to anchor her.
Not a bad thing. I think that looks like a great idea.
Yes, and your pets can also appreciate when you're at the
They
edge.
do. They really like it. Yeah. And they'll talk to you too. Like birds will talk to you. I interact with wildlife at my edge. And that's one of the most enjoyable things there is, to talk to the birds in the trees and I especially really like to talk to the vultures that fly in the sky. I like to talk to them.
Bay Laurel has a question and a thanks. Thank you, Desda. Do you always have to go through the entire structure to reach the edge?
No, you don't. That's just the way I chose to do it with you. You don't have to do that. There are 5 steps to the edge. And when I teach you those 5 steps, we go faster and faster and faster. So by the end of the 6 classes, you're you're doing a super quick version of it. This was a longer version, and some people really enjoy, this way. This is the way some people just always go to the edge. But no, you do it differently. And what else have we got here? Share.
Lois shared, when I am on the edge, I feel distant from other people. Is this something I will get comfortable with later? I realize I used to be entangled with
Yeah,
others.
yeah, it's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute to get the hang of it. But once you experience the edge, what you're going to notice and what you're going to find is that the edge is going to give you a way to not be in other people, but be with other people. And not only people, but animals and trees and plants and everything, being with everything. So it'll improve your existing accomplishments too, by adding that unknown missing ingredient of how to work and how to be. Because that's one of the things that I notice, like lots of people when they go to study like healing modality or really anything, they learn how to do it, but they don't really learn how to be it. And it's a very different thing. They learn lots of technique and lots of pressure points and ways to massage or something, but they don't learn how to not entangle with their client. So there they are trying to help and really being good-hearted, but exhausting themselves. I've had so many body workers come to these classes saying to me, I can only see 2 clients a day now. I can't do it. I can't do my 7-8 clients a day. And I'm losing money. I can't survive. And I've seen people who've been 30-year body workers, 20-year body workers, and they've come and they've learned the edge. It's changed everything about how they work. I've had people standing in the class sobbing. I have to learn everything all over again. I'm like, no, it's okay. You don't. You just have to learn to do it at the edge. So like, for example, bringing in Reiki at the edge. Everything you could do, driving at the edge, cooking your dinner at the edge, all of these things can be done. So if this sounds intriguing to you, like something you need to understand and use in your life, this class that starts in a few days on January 24th is designed to follow this introductory experience. And in the Essential Practice Your Sacred Anatomy Edge, I'll teach you the 5 steps to the edge. And you learn a bunch of different ways to do those 5 steps and help you discover how to make these new ideas feel like an old comfortable sweater. So let's just go over some of the benefits of the edge. Become fully present in your life, becoming more embodied, as well as enlivening the cells in your body. Grounded safely into your own energy structure. I'll teach you why it's not helpful to ground into the earth, for example. Oh, that's a new one. And learn to contain your energy and stop merging and meshing with people. Feel the fullness of compassion that exists and lives for you at the edge of your structure. Release your chattering thoughts and help wrangle them so that you can focus in your life. New sensing skills to enhance your subtle awareness. You'll actually get more sensitive and less vulnerable. Achieved training materials, archived training materials, videos and PDFs that'll help you master all the things that I teach you. So in every class, you learn a bunch of different skills and a bunch of different things that will be leading you, each of them leading you to understand more and more deeply who you are. And you'll learn how to do it. And there'll be tips on how to know you're not doing it. There are 3 different ways to learn the edge practice: through subtle anatomy, through physical movement, and through meditation. We just did through meditation. But in the end, what matters is, did this click for you? And what version, what method can you use? So the consciousness you are right now will expand and morph into the authentic consciousness you hold locked in your sacred anatomy. And learning how to use your subtle energy to go to the edge is a homecoming. It'll take you back to who you've always been before you were shaped by a lifetime of traumas and disappointments and difficulties. So the bottom line is, this way of being is expanding your consciousness, awakening a slumbering giant that is the real and most amazing you. Sounds like magic, I know, but it's not. It's just anatomy. So you'll learn the 5 steps to the edge, the essential practice, your sacred anatomy edge. The edge practice is a walking mindfulness practice you can use all day, every day, to bring spirit into your lives and to liberate you. And it creates a relationship with your own sacred anatomy. You are a light being in a physical body. Drop the mask and begin to live as you truly are. Why do you need to learn the 5 steps? To feel more present, to contain your energy, to feel the fullness of compassion, to release your chattering thoughts, to gain new sensing skills, and to benefit from all the archived materials that you'll have access to. So join me in 5 steps to the edge, starting Wednesday the 24th. It goes through to February 28th, 6 classes, 3 hours from 9 to 12 Pacific time. Currently, the discount price is $333, and it rises to $399 on January 19th. So that's a $66 discount you can get right now. But, and I'm going to give you a gift. As a special gift, there's an additional $24 discount, a total of $90 discount. And there's a special code that's only valid through tomorrow, January 18th. It ends at the stroke of midnight. So in the bottom right corner of the registration form, you enter EDGE24 to receive your full discount. And if you register on the next day, you won't get the full discount. So it's literally make up your mind, do this thing, get your big discount. So check our website to register and to learn more information. The Edge practice is the cornerstone to my work, and all future classes are really based in the Edge. It's a prerequisite for professional study, learning sacred anatomy, energy medicine, how to work with this incredible structure, and work with me, and for also the seminal energetic hygiene coming up again in March. So the Sacred Anatomy Energy Medicine professional track begins with the Essential Edge practice, the Sacred Anatomy Edge. I want to thank the Sacred Anatomy team, and I'm sorry for running over a little bit long. I apologize, but I'm so glad you stuck with me. Thank you, thank you. Let's thank Bobby, who does all the tech and runs around like a wild man, and Cheryl, who's our brilliant sidekick, partner in crime here. Kimmy, who does translates all of my pencil drawings into beautiful art, and Guige, who's our webmaster. So thank you, everybody. I have really, truly enjoyed being here with you. I really enjoyed our time together, and I am so grateful to you for allowing me to share these ideas. Please check it out. I hope I see you in class. Blessings and love and kisses and hugs to all of you. So Thank you again for being here. I'm seeing some old friends. Caroline Dosh from England. Hi. Yeah, this is great.
In the UK, but it's lovely to see you.
Oh, it's lovely to see you, Caro. Well, take care, everybody, and I'll see you all soon.